interrupted, so I had to leave for a while. But now we will start off by, I forgot to finish off part of extra innings by saying tomorrow night's game will be at 7:05. The starting pitchers will be Jeff Samardzija against Robbie Ray. We'll see how that works out, and I think that Samardzija should have a much better game pitching at home. His home record's a lot better than his road record. There we go with that. Also, though, part of the Kruk and Kuip channel, we don't just cover baseball. We cover all different types of sports that affect Northern California and the Bay Area. And with the Stanley Cup playoffs coming along, this week I'll be doing a preview for the Stanley Cup playoffs tonight. And Wednesday or Thursday night, I will be doing a preview for the NBA playoffs. Unfortunately, the Sharks don't get as much respect in the Bay Area as they should, with them being kind of the redheaded stepchild to the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. But here we go with the NHL Stanley Cup playoff preview. Our first matchup is going to be the Washington Capitals against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think this is a very winnable series for the Capitals. I congratulate Mike Babcock for getting his team in, getting the Maple Leafs back in the postseason. And these kids, they're going to get some valuable experience in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But I think they'll be way overmatched with Kevin Shattenkirk, TJ Oshie, Alexander Ovechkin, and Braden Holtby. I think the Capitals take that series in 5 games. All right, next game on the docket is going to be I will go with the New York Rangers and the Montreal Canadiens. This is a matchup of 2 good goaltenders with Carey Price on one side, and the other goaltender is Henrik Lundqvist. If the Rangers want to win this series, Lundqvist has to be on his A game. But the one advantage the Rangers do have is if Lundqvist does struggle, we have Antti Ranta, who is a very capable backup goaltender. Carey Price has had a roller coaster season too, but I think the Rangers have a little bit more firepower. This is going to likely be their last window of opportunity before they have to retool. I say the New York Rangers will win this series within probably 6 games. I'll take the Rangers, but I don't think they'll get past the second round. Next series up is the Ottawa Senators against the Boston Bruins. This is a series that is going to be very overlooked. These are not great teams. There are two maybe decent teams from a weak division. I think this will be a 7-game series or so. It'll come down to Tuukka Rask. And this might be the last. Might be the last maybe postseason series for Zdeno Chara in a Bruins jersey. But I don't see them winning Marchand, and they're just too injured, and there's just too many injuries, but I don't see them going far. I am taking the Senators in a 7-game series. The next one after that is going to be I think this is going to be a dandy of a series between the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Pittsburgh Penguins. You got two really good goaltenders in this series. You have Matt Murray going up against Sergei Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky could be a finalist for the Vezina Trophy this year. And Matt Murray's a really good goaltender. I think this will be a 7-game series. But I think, though, that what is going to hurt the Penguins is the lack of
Lakita presents How to Win in Business. Step 1. Point decisively.
But as long as you got Crosby and Malkin in a series, you are going to have a winning chance. But yeah, without Chris Letang, they are really going to be in trouble. Maybe not this series, but the next series or so. I kind of taken the Penguins in 7 games. I just don't think that the Blue Jackets are ready for primetime yet. But Tortorella has the Blue Jackets in the right direction. And it should be a very good series. Next one up is the Chicago Blackhawks against the Nashville Predators. I think this is going to be a very lopsided series, especially with Pekka Rinne struggling at goaltender. But this could be also a good experience for Juice Saros. But I think that they're going to. But, you got Corey Crawford, and you got Scott Darling for Chicago. You've got Patrick Kane. You've got Jonathan Toews. And that Panarin kid's pretty good. I don't see. I just think that Rennie nor Saras will be able to stop Chicago, and I take Chicago in 5 games in that series. Next one up is the Minnesota Wild against the St. Louis Blues. I think Minnesota's been leaking oil the last few weeks down the stretch, but I am not sold on St. Louis's goaltending issues. Jake Allen can be a choke artist. He's very inconsistent, and he will cost the Blues the series. And Carter Hutton cannot save the day either. I think the Wild wins the series in 7 games just because of Devin Dubnyk. He will be able to carry his team in with Eric Stahl carrying his team to the next round. And yes, Bruce Boudreau will win a Game 7 for the first time in his career. Next one is the Calgary Flames against the Anaheim Ducks. Anaheim, probably one of the biggest choke artists every year in the playoffs. And a hungry Calgary team. I'm not sold on John Gibson. He's not a proven goaltender in the postseason. And Brian Elliott tends to play a little better goaltending in the postseason. The X factor for this series will be Corey Perry and Brian Kessler. But my gut feeling is I'm taking Calgary to upset in 7 games. Last but not least, the Edmonton Oilers against your San Jose Sharks. Now, this is a series where I think the goaltending's kind of even. You got Martin Jones, you got Cam Talbot. What could help out the Sharks, though, is if Cam Talbot is out of gas. If Talbot comes up gassed in this series, then the Sharks could win this series. But if the Sharks could also win the series if they're able to shut down Conor McGregor and force them to use other players besides McGregor. Why do I say McGregor? Connor McDavid. If they are able to shut down Connor McDavid, this is the Sharks series to win despite the lack of scoring and lack of secondary scoring. The other thing that the Sharks lack, what's going to hurt the Sharks is injuries. I don't see Joe Thornton or Logan Couture being 100%. And they're going to have to rely more on Tomas Hertl and Jonas Donskoy. Donskoy, you never know. They might decide to shut down Donskoy for the year. He's more hurt than I expect. Now he's going to have to go under the knife once the season wraps up. My verdict, unfortunately, is I think the Oilers take it in 5 games. And we look to start the retool in San Jose. Well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We'll be back on tomorrow with Kruk and Kuip extra innings after tomorrow night's Giants game. And like I said, later this week, we'll preview the NBA playoffs coming up after the NBA season concludes on Wednesday night. Thanks, and get some sleep. Bye-bye.